right. Wow. I didn't want you to stop, Prince. Of all times, I'm like, oh, maybe we just start late so we can hear more of the song. I love it. Okay, you guys, thank you for coming to this training. We are super excited about this. I want to say on behalf of myself and Christine Dwyer and Julie Boris and Danielle Natoni and Trina Gray, we are just constantly in the background, like, how can we help our teams get more traction, help more people, build their businesses better, faster. Like we never stop thinking and working. We're behind the scenes constantly doing this, just FYI. So we came together with this idea. Basically, well, let me back up a little bit. So when zero added sugar Shakeology was announced, I was so excited. I did not know this was coming. And I'll tell you why I was so excited, because a few years back, this is before COVID, this is years ago, maybe 2018, 2019, something like that. I had a new coach, we called coach at the time, who hit the ground running. Like she was just hitting these high success club numbers and she was reaching diamonds. She reached diamonds so fast. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like this was at a time where, one of those months where everyone was struggling and she wasn't struggling at all. And she's a new partner. She had been a coach previously years ago and she had rejoined. So she was a new partner, but she had rejoined and she said, what I'm doing is this sugar detox group. And it's just so duplicatable and it's so easy and it works and people feel amazing. And it has so many benefits. And it's not only easy for me to run, but it's easy for my new partners to run. So she had active partners and she had people going emerald and that's why she became diamond so fast. And I was like, wow, this is fabulous. Like, tell me more about it. She's like, yeah, it's what I used to do when I was a coach many years ago. So it's something that I think maybe existed prior to the Ultimate Reset. For those of you that are familiar with the Ultimate Reset, which is 21 days. So anyways, this was a 10-day sugar detox. And so I thought this is super interesting. So within a text, like one or two texts, she explained to me what it was. And I was like, I'm gonna try and run one of these. And I tell you, it was one or two texts that she explained it to me to let you know that I don't want you to overthink this. None of us that are hosting this training, we're like, let's do a training on it just so you have all the information. But also, we don't want you to overthink this because it is really simple. Like literally, she sent me a couple texts and said, here's what my invites say. Here's what the meal plan is. Here's the general gist of it. And I ran with it. Like that was it. I didn't attend, a training on it, but we want to make sure you are fully equipped and ready to run. We do want you to stay tuned to the end of this because Danielle's going to go over how to handle some of the objections that you may get for something like this. Okay. Because, no matter what you do in your business, almost always you can expect you will have people that have objections. Okay, so we're going to walk you through that at the end. So please stay tuned to that. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick here. Do you want to continue? Yes, I do want to continue. Okay, everyone can see the slides, I take it. So here's the thing. We changed this 10-day sugar detox to a 7-day metabolism makeover. Here's the thing. You may be watching this training way in the future, and maybe we've changed the name of it by then. We're kind of testing the name Metabolism Makeover because it really does impact your metabolism, because we're not just talking about a meal plan here. We're talking about reducing added sugars. We're talking about eating better in general. We're talking about sleeping better. We're talking about being able to recover better. We're talking about being less inflamed. We're talking about having fewer cravings. We're talking about looking and feeling better, losing the excess water and inflammation, all these things. And like I said, I've done this before, this meal plan and this plan in general, and I've done it about 3 times now. And I can tell you that I feel the benefits literally within like day 4. I'm like, wow. But by day 7, I think the last time I did it, I think I stopped after 7 days because I was like, this is all I needed. Like, I don't need to continue. I'm just going to continue eating similarly to this. And that's why I love it so much. because when you're finished with it, you're like, this is something I can continue. I'm going to add in a little bit more protein and a little bit more calories, but this is something that I can continue. Does that mean this is for everyone? Not necessarily, but it is a really good way for people to kickstart. It's a really good way for people that are just coming back from a vacation where maybe they just kind of went all off their good habits and they're like, I just need something to kind of a structured way to get back on track, or they're about to, go on vacation. They're like, I want to look and feel my best. So there's lots of different uses for this. And again, it's so duplicatable and so simple. All right. So that being said, let me move on to what we're going to talk about in this training. We're going to talk about why we're doing this, the what, the how, the who, the when, the where, but we're also going to give you some example invites and scripts. And we're also going to talk about how to handle some of the objections that you may get. And yeah, I think that's about it. And just with that being said, we also are creating a Google Doc so that you will have access to the scripts so that you're not all like, can you give us the slides? And we're going to give you access to that Google Doc so that you have everything that you need and even some resources to help you have things that you can post on your social media to help educate people on the benefits of reducing added sugars. So again, when we introduced zero added sugar Shakeology, which we're going to call ZAS for the purposes of this training, it just opened up this whole new world, because when we were running these sugar detoxes before, there wasn't the added sugars in Shakeology, and then there was. And so then it was like, oh, we're reducing added sugars, but now Shakeology has added sugars. So now we're like, okay, new formula. This is literally the one I just had this morning, and I love it. Zero added sugars Shakeology. It has fewer carbs. It has zero added sugars, obviously. It has fewer calories. It's obviously low glycemic index. And I just think that this is going to be an amazing integral part of this plan. All right. So that being said, we're going to move on to Christine, and she's going to talk a little bit more about this.
Yeah, so in the chat, I did put the Google Drive. We're going to add to it. So that will be the master's folder. So if you want to go ahead and save that link. And again, only really share this to other partners who are actually participating and actually going to be running this. So I was so excited when we all kind of came up with this together. And I really loved the ZAS term. I had to think about it for a second. I was like, what is ZAS? But so that was pretty funny because it's kind of a good kitschy name. Much like Janelle, I came across this sugar detox, and a couple of my partners, Nat and Sarah, are in here, and they know that I've actually been running this on and off for about a year and a half to 2 years. So I'm very familiar with how this works, as well as some things you want to watch out for, which I'm going to go into. But what's most important about this is it's a system. So you, as a brand new partner or an experienced partner, just kind of coming back into it after a while, it will give you a level of confidence when you're plugged into a system and you're running it. Because when we're left to create always on ourselves, we're constantly feeling like, is this good enough? Is this good enough? This is good. And again, we're giving you so much support in terms of how to connect with people to be able to bring them in, as well as what to say. And then also working with those objections is really going to help as well. It's really going to level you up to a higher level of confidence, knowing this works. And the thing, I don't think Janelle said this, I may have missed it, but we also decided that 7 days was going to be the perfect time frame because it matches the concept of what Danielle kind of put out there in the network, Meet Me on Monday, in correlation with Brendan Burchard's National Wake Up Call. If you didn't watch it or listen to it, go ahead. But that aspect of get it by Friday and meet me on Monday, this is going to work perfect for. But going back to the confidence side of things, you're going to have confidence. But when you're especially talking on social media, people need to have confidence in you, that they know that if they give you their time, that you're going to actually help them with what they're looking to get help with. So by having a system is going to give confidence to the clients as well. This is super simple. Like Janelle said, it's very duplicable. And this is something that you can keep doing. And that's what I'm going to quick touch on is just be careful that you don't overdo this. So again, I've been running this really for about 2 years, and I've learned that if I run it too frequently, it loses. It's like a white noise thing. So that's why sometimes tweaking the name, really what we're doing is we're just helping people understand how to pick clean, healthy foods that don't raise their blood sugars, to keep the blood sugars down low. So really, whatever you really want to name it that's going to fit your market is what you can do. But just don't run it too frequently, because then it does just kind of get watered out. So keep it spicy. I don't think I have control. Yeah, there you go. So keeping it simple, where do you feel the most confident to run a group? Run it there. Okay, so if you really want to run one in a bod group, which by the way, I'm going to suggest that you do open up a bod group for it, because those customers are potentially going to see it and just asked to join. I've had some customers when I was running my recent challenge that was about low glycemic index food planning and stuff like that. They joined because they saw that and they were really interested in learning more about that. And it wasn't because I sent them an email, it's just because they saw it within their bod group. So feel free to run it in a bod group if you want, but Facebook Messenger groups are pretty much going to be the easiest. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to run it together, all together as once. And later we'll tell you our start date. And then you're off on your own. Okay? I think that's about it. Moving on.
Talk about the what. Now, if we have been friends at any point in time in any way, you probably know I'm a huge advocate of habits. And when I'm thinking about habits, when I'm thinking about a habit system, when I'm thinking about what to put together in terms of something like this might sound a little weird, but I think, could my 96-year-old mom do these habits? Because then it makes it applicable to everyone. So I run it through this odd filter. Could my 96-year-old mom do these habits? These are the habits that we want to focus on for 7 days. And when you think about it, when you talk about it to people, could anyone do this? Could anyone follow a meal plan and tweak it as needed? Yes, the answer is yes to that. Can anyone aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep? The answer is yes to that. Can you aim for a move goal or a step goal that you create, that you decide? Yes. No alcohol for 7 days. Don't freak out. Yes, you can do that and follow the approved foods and guidelines provided. Can you do that? Yes. My 96-year-old mom could do all of those guidelines, could do all of those habits. So what we're doing is a 7-day habit group to get results rather than 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Those are amazing, because what's going to happen on the 8th day, we're going to hope that some of these habits continue because they feel so much better. Mostly what will happen in 7 days is awareness. What people will start to see and realize is what's happening in their diet, habits that they've gotten sidetracked from, habits that they used to have in their life that they've gotten away from, habits that they didn't know they needed in their life, eating foods that they didn't even know had the sugar in it. They start to read more labels. What happens in 7 days is awareness. And that awareness then leads to more sustained habits, because we really want people having habits for life, right? Not just for 7 days, but it's got to start somewhere. And it's got to start with habits that are so simple that anyone, including my 96-year-old mom, could do these habits. So this is a beautiful thing, because you don't have to require the body platform. You don't have to require any certain fitness group. We're just focusing on what are you putting in your body? What are some small, simple, doable habits? We don't have to overhaul our entire lives. What are small, simple, doable habits that we can string together for 7 days that then continue on into your life? So we're going to give you the meal plan. And we talked about this a lot within our group, like who uses meal plans, who uses, the bottom line is, as Christine said, people love a structure, people love a system. So whether you use here is what you have to eat kind of meal plan, or whether you use kind of here are some suggestions for your meal plan, people love ideas, right? People love ideas. They love recipes, they love resources, they love tips. We've talked about providing resources for podcasts, for books that you could read, for books that you can share, and just all kinds of tips and resources that you can provide value to your customers, to your potential partners. That's that's really the key when you're talking about this amazing superfood shake, is helping people understand the value. And sometimes you got to get them in a group like this, provide them lots of other resources, let them see that other people are doing this too, let them see how simple this shake can be to integrate into their lives, to understand the value of it. And there's no better time in August when we're going to have this amazing Shakeology sale. So once you've gotten all the tools that you need, and your partners have gotten the tools that they need, your customers have got the tools that they need, then we'll bring you into the group and you'll have access to all these resources. Me too. I think, is this me
I got
as
it.
well? Okay, good.
Yep, I got it. So who can participate? So anyone who has purchased 0 added sugar Shakeology. I know in the past when I've run these, I've had a lot of people that are like, oh, you know, but I have Shakeology that's been sitting in my pantry for 3 years, and I'm not afraid to use it because I'm not afraid of expired products. And so can I just use that? That's a different discussion, but that won't work for this, because this is 0 added sugar Shakeology, and that's a completely different formulation. So anyone who has purchased that specific formulation is able to participate in this group, whether they are currently a customer or a preferred customer or a partner, they're able to participate. And once they have confirmation that they have purchased that, they're given the link to the Facebook group. So as you guys may have heard, in August, there's a promotion going on for Shakeology. So customers can get Shakeology for, it's new customers who get Shakeology on a subscription. New customers who get Shakeology on a subscription, their first order of Shakeology will be $99. So that's $30 off using your code of Shake30. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, if that promo code is wrong, but I'm pretty sure the promo code is Shake30. And they'll get $30 off their first order that comes. Now, do they have to stay on Shakeology forever? No, of course not. But that's going to be a great way for them to save. Now, if you are to propose it to them as coming on board as a preferred customer or a partner, they're going to save even more, because then their future orders are obviously discounted at 20%. So, you know, that's going to be the biggest savings. Customers will pay $129 for their future orders, whereas the preferred customers and partners, I have a typo there. The preferred customers and partners will pay about $104. Plus they have their fee, but that's still a savings. It's still a no-brainer financially for them to become a preferred customer or a partner. And they're going to save 20% on everything else as well. So that is who can participate in this. Moving on to when. So you guys, I really just want you to screenshot this slide, okay? The group start date is August 19th, which is so perfect because I know a lot of parents have their kids going to school at that point. So this is a point where they can be a little bit more focused on their own nutrition, hopefully, and not off on a vacation and trying to, you know, do all the things with the family last minute before summer is officially over. Group start date is Monday, August 19th. But in order to do that, we have to set a deadline. And as we've heard from Brenda Bouchard, you have to have a deadline. Otherwise, people just drag their feet forever. I do it myself. Things that I want so badly in my life, I drag my feet on it because I'm busy doing things for everyone else, right? Same with your customers. They may be interested in this and they show interest, and you think you're going to cross them off the list because they didn't follow up or they didn't purchase or whatever. You've got to remind them of this deadline date and that you don't want them to miss out on this. August 9th is that deadline date, drop dead deadline date, because if they don't order by then, I'm not sure they're going to get their Shakeology in time. And that's critical to this plan. They've got to get their Shakeology. So August 9th. I would even personally set my deadline to maybe August 8th. And then on August 9th, anyone who didn't order, say, you know what? I'm going to extend it one more day. I think you might still get it on time, because it is kind of shaky between August 8th and August 9th. I want to make sure they get it on time. And you would have to order your ZAS by August 9th as well in order to get into this group. But start promoting it now, you guys. This list of 12 things here, I want you to take a screenshot of that and just, have you done all of these things? I've looked at any time that I've hit like higher numbers in my business for a month, and I'm like, what did I do? Oh yeah, I did all the things. There was not just one or two things I did differently that month. It's because I did all the things. And these are the things. I just laid them out for you. Doing all those things. If you look at 1 through 10 right there, I can tell you that you'll get at least 3 people interested from each one of those things. If you do each one of those things, I can almost guarantee you'll get at least 3 people interested from each of those things. That's 30 people that you would have on your interest list, and you should be tracking names. 30 people of interest. I guarantee you that you will hit Success Club easily in the month of August if you have 30 people who are interested. You've got 3 levels of interest. You've got people who are interested. That should be about 30 people. Then you're going to have people who commit verbally and they're like, yeah, I'm in. And we're going to talk about that. That's a second level of interest. The third level is they purchase, they commit. Okay. So 30 people interested. You're going to have at least 3 to 5, if not more, who actually commit. Okay. You're going to make Success Club for August, not to mention the people that you're going to help. Okay, so moving on to a sample invite. So this is just a sample invite. Again, use your own words. I'm not big on scripts, actually. I really am not. I think it needs to be you talking to the person, but just as a sample. Hey, Sarah, how are you? I was wondering if you'd be interested in the 7-day metabolism makeover I'm doing starting August 19th. The results I've seen from this 3 to 5 pound loss of excess water, weight, and inflammation, reduced cravings, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read it to you. Screenshot this. Once it's in your camera roll, do you guys know that you can hold down the picture in your camera roll and it will copy the text, okay? And you can paste it into your DMs, okay? It's in your camera roll, hold it down. It'll allow you to copy the text, at least on an iPhone. I don't know about everyone else. Okay, that's a sample invite. But what if they say they are interested? What if they reply back to that and they're like, yeah, I'm interested? Okay, first of all, track their name, okay? Get them on your list. And then you can say this, okay? This is exactly the language that I used when I ran it. And it's the language I got from my new coach. That's why I love this business. Like new people coming on board, so many of them are so brilliant. I'm like, this is brilliant. I love it. And it works. So this is literally how, I, talk to the people that were interested. And then when at the end, I'm asking, so are you in? You always want to ask a question. At the end of all your DMs, remember this for all of your business, always end in a question. Whenever coaches or partners tell me that they get ghosted, they send a message and they get ghosted. I'm like, did you ask a question at the end of your DM that is simple for them to answer with a yes or no? And they're like, no, I didn't. I just said, let me know if you're interested. Or I said a whole bunch of things, but I didn't ask a question at the end. Ask a question at the end that's simple to answer with a yes or no. So my question here is, so are you in? If they're like, yeah, I'm in, great. I'm going to respond back. Awesome. Let me put together the link for you. I'm going to create a share cart. Okay. But what if they don't say they're in? What if they're like, no, that's where we're going to talk about the objections. And Danielle, I'm going to let you take over.
Okay, great. Well, this is so exciting and I am really excited for this. I'm going to hold the non-US market till the end. I think I have a solution for that. We hadn't considered that, but my brain was working. And so I have a solution and I'm going to share that at the end and hopefully everyone agrees. And I want to add to Janelle's point about, ending with a question. After you send back that beautiful thing that hopefully you screenshot that she has written out there so perfectly for you, you could just say too, let me know which flavor you want. Right there, that could be your ending question. Let me know, would you want vanilla vegan, vanilla chocolate, or whey chocolate? You're assuming the sale. And that leads me perfectly into handling objections. And the first thing that I want to talk to you about that is that an objection is a gift. I want you to think about that for a minute. An objection is a gift. It is an opportunity for you to provide more value to your prospect and for you to set your law as a business owner. Let that sink in for a minute. If they weren't interested at all, they would just tell you no or ghost you. But when they say any of these things or any other objection, they're giving you an opportunity to show up and let them know why that this would be valuable for them. And you are setting your law as a business owner. And I think that part is really important. So many times, and I do it too, even still, we're afraid to put our stake in the ground. You are a business owner. And as a business owner, you are recommending and sharing and running this group, putting your resources, your time, your effort, your energy into this by using the product that you sell, Shakeology. You're not running a group with a product that you don't sell. So I want you to also, before I just give you some examples, I want you to assume the sale, to remember objections are a gift, and to set your law as a business owner. And my law as a business owner is that I am using zero added sugar Shakeology for this metabolism makeover. So number one, and I'm sure we'll give these to you. I wrote these out, Janelle, so I'm sure we can put these somewhere. And I too don't believe in scripts. I think everyone has a way of using their language in a way that communicates most effectively in their voice. So I'm just sharing how I would handle this. So why can't I just use my favorite protein shake instead? For this challenge, we are specifically using zero added sugar Shakeology. I appreciate that you have a favorite shake, but I really want to see what kind of results participants get from using our shake, and it's a requirement for this specific challenge. Number one, I've set my law as a business owner. And number two, I've also honored their objection, because remember, everyone's perception is their reality. So I never want to negate anyone's objection. I want to honor it. I hear you. I get that you have a favorite shake. However, for this specific challenge, we're using zero added sugar Shakeology, and it's a requirement for this specific group. And then that's it. Like, I don't need to add all these, oh, I'm sorry, I hope you understand. I'm just staking my law as a business owner because this is the fact of the matter. Okay, number two, and I know this one can be a little bit more sensitive because it's a sensitive time, but I can't afford Shakeology. Can I do this without it? I have two answers for you. One is the one I'd like you to go with. Number two is like a Hail Mary so that you don't lose the sale completely and still give someone an opportunity to meet them where they're at. So I can't afford Shakeology. Can I do this without it? For the month of August, we're having a $30 off special for Shakeology, which, by the way, I've never seen them do before, making it $99 for 30 servings. That makes each serving about $3. You will be replacing one meal a day with this shake, which might also cut out some of your grocery or eating out costs. Would this fit into your budget for this month? Okay, so I'm letting them hear, realistically, it's $3 a serving, right? And they may not even know that it's $99 for the month, because you're probably not just blasting that out. You're probably starting with this metabolism makeover. So start with this offering, letting them know it's $3 a shake. It's one meal a day. It's cutting, right? Like $3 is, where can you get anything for $3? I don't even think you can go to like McDonald's and get anything for $3 anymore, right? Like, it's beautiful. Now, if they come back and they're like, times are tough, we live paycheck to paycheck, like we absolutely cannot, here's an option. We do have a zero added sugar Shakeology 5-pack sampler. Okay, so they'd only be able to do 5 days of the challenge instead of 7. And the 5 sampler pack is two vanilla vegan, 2 chocolate vegan, 1 chocolate whey, something like that. Okay, so they'd have to also, like, if they're vegan only, right, like, then really they'd only get 4 servings. So this may not be a viable option for most, but this would be a great option for someone who literally cannot, like, $99 is not in the budget because it's $30. So the 5-pack is $30. So this would be a really great option. Oh, Sarah, that's a great question. When is the 14-day trial pack of Shako coming? I don't know the answer to that. That could be another solution if that's coming out in ZAS as well. So you have options, right? But I think in all of that, it's letting them know the value, because it's usually, you'll hear someone say, like, they'll say no, they can't afford XYZ, and then you're on their page like 2 days later and they just spent like $300 on like hair extensions or something. So everyone also values things differently. So for sure, start with hey, it's about $3 a serving. Like, would that fit into your budget for this month? And then if not, the 5-pack, or if the 14-pack is available, that's also an option. All right, next, why do I have to drink Shakeology for this? This is where you're literally putting your stake in the ground. I believe in Shakeology, and that is why for this specific challenge, we are using it. It's a requirement for this group because I want to collect testimonials from my participants so I can share everyone's feedback. And I think that this is really important because this is what we will be doing, right? Like, what a great place for us to collect incredible testimonials for zero added sugar Shakeology. So why do I have to drink Shakeology? Because I said so, because it is my law. It's the group that we are running, and because I plan on capturing testimonials so that I can share feedback. Okay, number 4, I don't like drinking my calories. Trust me, I like eating too. That's why you are only replacing 1 meal a day with a shake, and your other meals are nutrient-dense meals that you can eat with a fork, right? Y'all, I've been cleaning out my old posts on Facebook, thanks to Facebook Memories. And for those, only the people who run this group with me will remember this. I think this is why the 3-day refresh came out, so that we would all stop doing this. I used to run, because it was a thing that someone invented, a 3-day Shakeology cleanse, where you would have people buy 9 packets from you so that they could drink 3 shakes a day for 3 days. We are not making them do that. They are not drinking their calories. They're having 1 shake a day, and then they are eating meals, because Janelle is providing us with this meal plan that you'll see when you get into the group. So they're not drinking their calories. Okay, Shakeology upsets my stomach. What can I do instead? I'm sorry you experienced trouble with Shakeology in the past. Remember, honor their objection, right? Like, you want to make them feel seen. I'm sorry you experienced trouble with Shakeology in the past. I wonder if this new formulation would sit better with your stomach. Okay, so that's thing number 1 you could say. The other piece that you could add to that is, also, I would be curious, how did you make Shakeology in the past? Could it have been one of the other ingredients you added that was bothering you, not Shakeology itself? Oftentimes what I have found is that when people say Shakeology upset their stomach, it actually wasn't Shakeology. It was whatever it was they were adding to the shake that they actually had some kind of issue with. So those are 2 ways that could potentially help bring the conversation forward. Okay, can I just use the bag of Shakeology I bought a couple months ago? Old formula. While I am stoked you are a Shakeology lover, this specific challenge is about monitoring our added sugars. The original formulation has 5 grams added sugar, which doesn't fit the parameters of this challenge. 0 added sugar is needed. Now, I'm going to modify that in a second for you UK, Canadian, French partners, but for those of you in the US market or speaking to US clients, we really want to promote 0 added sugar Shakeology. Okay, next, can I make my own shake filled with spinach, kale, fruit, etc.? And for this challenge, we're specifically using 0 added sugar Shakeology. I appreciate that you love making your own smoothies, but for this challenge in particular, we're using, and notice I keep saying for this challenge in particular, because I'm alluding also to the fact that I'm probably going to have future challenges. Could be a fitness challenge, could be some kind of recipe challenge, right? So I keep saying for this specific challenge, 0 added sugar is required, because I want them to understand, like, hey, and if for some reason this challenge isn't for you, that's okay. Like, I'm going to have a future challenge that you could be a part of. All right. And then lastly, I'll be traveling this week. Can I do this another time? I plan on running this again. So yes, you can join it another time. If you want, however, you can buy what you need now, get added to the group, and follow the protocol on your own upon your return. Now, I don't know if other people agree with that, but like, if they're ready to buy, I'm that girl. I'd be like, oh, I can't do it this week, but I'm going to buy now. Right? So I'll send these to Janelle so that we can get them somewhere so that you have my responses. Now, Janelle, Christine, Julie, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. Here's how I would handle the UK, Canadian, French market. And you guys let me know what you think. Okay. For Canadian, French, UK market, obviously we want you to still participate in this challenge. So you would be selling regular Shakeology with an asterisk saying we are joining a challenge that is focused on reducing added sugars. While Shakeology has a nominal, I would probably use the word nominal for something like that, amount of added sugars, 5 grams. It's not within the exact protocol laid out by the group. So your results may be slightly different than the rest of the group. That's how I would run it. And I don't want to micromanage the group, but I would probably like, you know, let's all use the honor system. But I would hope that if you're putting people into the group, they either bought zero added sugar Shakeology and then you're sending them the link, or you're proving that it's like a UK customer with a regular new purchase of Shakeology. Does that make sense? I think that's how I would handle that. And Janelle or Christine or Julie, I don't know if you think any differently about that. Okay, what about our other supplements that have some sugar? Energize, okay for this challenge. You know, we didn't speak about that. And I could be speaking out of turn. I don't know off the top of my head what the added sugars are in Shakeology or in Energize. I would say probably no. This would be my instinct, but you guys can run it however you want. My instinct would be to say no, right? Like we're monitoring our added sugars. We're doing this thing. Like if people can't live for 7 days without Energize, they have a deeper issue than their added sugar to deal with. So I don't know, but I'd have to grab the thing. Does anyone know off the top of their head? It's 2 grams. I mean, you could leave it. I would say maybe don't even make it an issue. I don't know. We can discuss that further offline and we can make like a decision. If it's only 2 grams of added sugar, then probably what I would say is maybe UK people shouldn't, right? Because now they're up to 7 grams of added sugar. So it's only 2 grams. And if they're really monitoring elsewhere, then it probably should be fine. So we can really have a deeper discussion about that later. It's also not that deep. You know what I mean? Like, it's really like not that deep at the end of the day. They drink a little Energize, they don't drink a little Energize. Like, it's also not that deep. So I think it's fine. Any other questions before we kind of wrap this up? I think gut protocol limits it to 1 scoop per day. Yeah, that sounds right. Like just, just like a heaping scoop, should be fine. A heaping scoop, 1 heaping scoop if you're a 2 scooper and you're like, so good to go. And also, I think that's probably a great way to maybe start to wrap this up is it's not that deep. At the end of the day, the goal of this is really, well, yes, we'd love for people to feel better. We want people to feel better. Obviously, we want people to feel better. We want them to like fall in love with Shakeology, but this is also a business focus. It is this understanding of we're going to run this group to help people get connected to Shakeology and get connected to us as their partner and their resource. So there might be little things like, is it okay to do this? Is it okay to do that? It's 7 days. Like at the end of the day, it's all good. Really, our main purpose is for them to fall in love with Shakeology, hopefully so much so, but that by the end of the 7 days, they already bought the full bag. So they're going to drink their entire bag. And then they love it so much, they're going to stay on auto ship. And now we've seen a nice volume boost. We've got a lot of new Shakeology drinkers in our network. And you now have a system that not too regularly, like Christine said, but on a cadence that you feel is right, you can run this group. You can teach partners to run this group to have energy with. So I think that's all I have from the objection department. Janelle, anything else you want to say?
I just wanted to also add that your results from this are really going to help you promote these in the future. I know for myself, because I got such great results and I followed it, but I never follow anything to a T. I'm a little bit of a rule breaker, especially when it comes to nutrition type stuff. So that's why I like it that Danielle said, like, listen, this isn't too deep. If you want to do a scoop of Shakeology, but you're overall reducing your added sugars, I think that's a huge win. So I didn't even follow like to a T. I probably did have Energize. I don't remember, but I got amazing results. And so I, of course, showed my before and after, and that really helped, fill my next group. Huge. So when you do this yourself, I really want you to take it seriously, and so that you are paving the way for the others that are going to do it in the future. That's it. Anyone else have anything?
So Janelle, next steps would be obviously they need to start inviting, start sharing and promoting. But what are the next steps on our end that they can be on the lookout for so that they feel prepared?
Well, I would say, by in the next 24 to 48 hours, we'll have more things within that Google Drive so that they can start, sharing some resources. But don't wait. Never wait. Never wait for your upline. Never wait for anything. This is simple. Reducing added sugars. You can literally go on AI, chat GPT, and say, what are some of the pain points when it comes to cravings and added sugars and chat GPT is going to give you a whole bunch of different posts that you can do. You can be doing polls, that whole list of things that I gave you in an earlier slide. Hopefully you screenshotted that, and that's literally like your to-do list, because August 9th is going to come up sooner than you think. But if you start promoting and talking about this now, and again, you can do this in conjunction with whatever program you're doing, whether it be Lava or something else. And this is something also that if you have people in your warm market who they're not really into our fitness programs, or they don't have a need for them because they do something else, this is something that can grab their attention. So don't wait, start going through that checklist, start educating your following on added sugars and some of the benefits so that you can start doing those one-to-one invites, and the one-to-one invites make more sense and you're able to close those deals. Yes,
and then I
legitimate.
imagine at some point closer to the start date, we'll have a group that they could put their customers in. So in the meantime, they just kind of need to keep a curated list of who purchased and who's ready to go.
Yep.
And also, today is the 29th. So you have 3 days. If you or your partners have not hit Success Club yet for July, then this is a great opportunity for you to knock July and August out of the park all in one simple swoop.
So glad you said that. So true. You can start now. You can literally have some people that purchase by Wednesday and hit your Success Club. Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I think that's all I have. Janelle, Julie, Christine, anything else?
I'm good. Anybody else have anything? All right. We're good to go. Thanks for hopping on, you guys. Stay tuned. And I'm excited about this. We'll see you later.